What recent policy focus by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has highlighted rising inequality across developed nations? The OECD has warned that wage stagnation combined with rising housing and energy costs is widening inequality and increasing long-term social and economic pressure. Which global trend has the International Labor Organization identified as reshaping employment worldwide? The ILO reported rapid growth in informal and non-standard work, including gig and platform-based employment, which reduced job security and traditional labor protections. What unusual climate-related phenomenon has disrupted international aviation recently? Increased atmospheric turbulence linked to climate change has forced airlines to alter flight routes, raise safety costs, and reassess long-term operational planning. How has Brazil repositioned itself in recent global environmental negotiations? Brazil has sought to reassert leadership in rainforest protection and climate diplomacy, linking conservation efforts to international financing and trade credibility. What development in global finance has intensified scrutiny of central bank independence? Political pressure on central banks to prioritize economic growth over inflation control has increased debate about monetary policy independence. What emerging security concern has the G7 highlighted in its discussions? The G7 has raised concerns over foreign interference in critical infrastructure, including ports, telecommunications networks, and energy systems. What global education trend has been linked to long-term economic competitiveness? Declining learning outcomes following pandemic disruptions have been linked to future productivity losses and slower economic growth. How has Germany adjusted its industrial strategy in response to energy market volatility? Germany has accelerated investment in renewable energy and hydrogen while diversifying supply chains to reduce reliance on external energy sources. What unusual demographic shift has affected urban planning in multiple world cities? The rise of smaller households and aging populations has forced cities to rethink housing density, transport, and healthcare infrastructure. Which technology-related risk has international regulators increasingly prioritized? Regulators have prioritized the risk of algorithmic opacity, where complex AI systems make decisions that cannot be easily explained or audited. What recent global development has reshaped debates on food sovereignty? Export restrictions imposed during supply shocks have renewed debate over national food security versus open global agricultural trade. How has the African Union strengthened its role in regional conflict management? The African Union has expanded mediation efforts and early warning systems to prevent conflicts from escalating across borders. What environmental concern beyond carbon emissions has gained policy attention worldwide? Water scarcity has emerged as a strategic risk affecting agriculture, industry, and geopolitical stability in multiple regions. Which shift in consumer behavior has influenced global inflation patterns? Reduced discretionary spending combined with higher essential costs has altered demand patterns, complicating inflation forecasting. Repeated international crises have highlighted a long-term governance challenge. The lack of effective global coordination mechanisms has underscored weaknesses in existing international governance structures.